Have you ever heard of a planet made entirely of pure gold? As incredible as it sounds, astronomers using the James Webb Space Telescope might have just found something even more astonishing. This isn't a fairy tale from a distant galaxy, but a story about a planet right here in our own solar system. A planet that scientists once called Earth's twin, holding dreams of a second home for humanity. But the truth is far more terrifying than we could have ever imagined. Today, we're journeying to the scariest planet in our cosmic neighborhood, Venus. For centuries, Venus has captivated our imagination. It shines brightly in our night sky, a beautiful serene pearl against the black velvet of space. From a distance, it looks peaceful, inviting even. Its size, mass, and density are strikingly similar to our own world. For this reason, it earned the nickname Earth's twin. Early science fiction authors, and even some scientists, dreamed of a lush, tropical world hidden beneath its thick white clouds. They imagined vast oceans, dense jungles, and perhaps even life. But when we finally sent probes to peek beneath the veil, the dream turned into a nightmare. The truth about Venus is that it is the most inhospitable, hellish place in the entire solar system. It's a vision of what can go catastrophically wrong with a planet. The first and most shocking discovery was the surface temperature. Venus is not a tropical paradise. It is a planetary furnace. The average temperature on its surface is a staggering 465 degrees Celsius, or 870 degrees Fahrenheit. This is hot enough to melt lead, zinc, and tin. Any spacecraft that dares to land on its surface is cooked and crushed in a matter of hours, if not minutes. The Soviet Venera probes that bravely landed there in the 1970s and 80s barely survived long enough to send back a few haunting images of a desolate, rocky landscape before going silent forever. But why is Venus so incredibly hot? It's actually farther from the sun than Mercury, so it should technically be cooler. The answer lies in its atmosphere, a thick, toxic blanket that has created a runaway greenhouse effect on a scale that is hard to comprehend. The atmosphere of Venus is about 92 times denser than Earth's. Standing on the surface of Venus would feel like being almost a kilometer deep in our ocean. The sheer weight of the air would crush you instantly. This crushing pressure is made even worse by what the atmosphere is made of. It's composed of about 96.5% carbon dioxide, a potent greenhouse gas. This CO2 traps the sun's heat, not letting it escape back into space. Over billions of years, this process has spiraled out of control, turning the planet into a self-regulating oven. The nightmare doesn't stop with heat and pressure. The clouds that enshroud Venus, which look so beautiful from afar, are made of sulfuric acid. Yes, the same highly corrosive acid you'd find in a car battery. These clouds produce a constant, drizzling rain of sulfuric acid. However, the surface is so hot that the acid rain evaporates long before it ever reaches the ground, creating a vicious cycle of toxic vapor rising and falling. It's a never-ending chemical storm. Winds in the upper atmosphere of Venus are also terrifyingly fast, reaching speeds of over 360 kilometers per hour, about 225 miles per hour. They whip the acid clouds around the planet in just 4 Earth days, a phenomenon known as superrotation. Yet, bizarrely, on the surface, the winds are incredibly slow, barely a gentle breeze. So, what would it be like to stand on Venus? Imagine being simultaneously cooked in an oven, crushed by immense pressure, and breathing a poisonous atmosphere, all while being surrounded by a haze of corrosive acid. It is, without a doubt, the definition of a hellscape. Recent research, some of which involves data from probes like the Parker Solar Probe and analysis from the Bepi-Colombo mission on its flyby, is trying to understand Venus's past. The big question is, was Venus always like this? Many scientists now believe that Venus may have once been much more like Earth. Billions of years ago, it might have had liquid water oceans, a milder climate, and conditions that could have potentially supported life. It was a true twin to our own planet. So what happened? The leading theory points to its proximity to the Sun. As the Sun has gradually become brighter over billions of years, Venus received more and more solar energy. This caused its oceans to slowly evaporate. Water vapor is also a greenhouse gas. As more water vapor filled the atmosphere, the planet heated up, which in turn caused even more water to evaporate. This created a feedback loop, the runaway greenhouse effect that we see in its ultimate terrifying form today. Eventually, the planet became so hot that all the water was stripped from the atmosphere by solar wind, and carbon dioxide, released from rocks and volcanoes, became the dominant gas, sealing the planet's fate. Venus became a cautionary tale, a planetary ghost of a world that might have been. Studying Venus is incredibly important because it teaches us about the delicate balance that makes a planet habitable. It shows us how a planet so similar to our own can end up on such a drastically different and horrifying path. The differences in our planet's histories, the presence of a strong magnetic field on Earth that Venus lacks, and the role of plate tectonics in recycling carbon on our world are all crucial pieces of the puzzle. Venus is a laboratory for understanding planetary climate science at its most extreme. It serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of an unchecked greenhouse effect. While Earth's situation is not as dire, the story of Venus shows us what can happen when a planet's climate system is pushed past its tipping point. The future of Venus exploration is exciting. Missions are being planned by NASA, ESA, and other space agencies to return to our twisted sister. The Da Vinci Plus and Veritas missions from NASA aim to study its atmosphere in detail and map its surface to understand its geological history. These missions will help us answer the fundamental questions. Did Venus have oceans? Was it ever habitable? And why did its climate diverge so dramatically from Earth's? The scary truth about Earth's twin is that it's not a twin at all anymore. It's a vision of a paradise lost, a world that was cooked, crushed, and poisoned over billions of years. It's a beautiful, bright warning in our night sky. It reminds us of how precious and fragile our own blue marble is, floating in the vast, cold emptiness of space. What other cosmic mysteries are waiting to be uncovered? Make sure you subscribe to Space Repo and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next journey into the unknown.